How to learn tarot with music. Tarot cards represent his music genres according to a tarot reader and practitioner of 7 years. And holler. Stemming from the roots of West African music, field hollers and European hymns and laying foundations for rock and roll, early blues was a cathartic release for Black folks. During enslavement, Black artists used music to express topics of sorrow, grief, struggle, depression, pain, and anger. The effects of slavery were still fresh, and the artists that defined early blues genres, such as Delta blues, were the children of those who were enslaved and still were alive to experience the deeply oppressive and violent times. The term blues originated from the deep emotional resonance and melancholic themes often expressed in the genre. When I am listening to the earliest recordings of the blues, this is what I hear. The Death card, 3 of Swords, 10 of Wands, and 5 of Cups. 5 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. So, like I said in the intro, we just have to think what's going on in these times. What are the circumstances for the Delta blues singers? The Death card talks of death, spirituality, spirits, devils, demons, and just the overall darkness. And the Death card can relate to this in the sense of grief and depression as well. There's often talks of wanting to die, wanting to be with God. So I'm associating death with like just spirituality. 10 of Wands is the card of oppression, being overworked and being burdened. That's the 10 of Wands. Once again, who's singing these songs? What did they grow up in? What is the circumstances? We really have to talk about what's going on and relate it accordingly. 5 of Pentacles is associated with poverty. These early Delta blues singers, listen, they weren't rich. Stagnation. There was often talks of insecurity as well. So not just like insecurity in relation to poverty, but just like not being sure of oneself. 5 of Pentacles is like my everyday is winter card, because it is winter. And 5 of Pentacles is a slow card, so stagnation. Every day is winter. Every day is dark. Every day is tiring. It's a struggle. And the 5 of Pentacles is also associated with fatigue. I would also like to mention how 5 of Pentacles can relate to blues not being seen as profitable in the early days by the white record executives. But then, let a couple years go by, the British blues revival happens, then it's seen as more profitable. Remember in the beginning of the video, I had mentioned how Delta blues had laid foundations for rock and roll. And in a lot of rock genres, and I'm going to specify, so blues and rock, 5 of Pentacles, listen, 5 of Pentacles is not, and rock and blues, they're not pristine. They're not like opera or classical. It's not clean. It's not polished because the life isn't polished. I wouldn't expect Delta blues to be polished. What is the origins of it? What is the circumstances it was made in? Grunge, for example, does not have a necessarily clean or pristine or sophisticated look like opera and classical because, again, what are the circumstances it is being created under? Just like early blues, early Delta blues specifically. You see? And again, punk, grunge, and blues, who birthed those genres, you got to think. They don't center perfectionism. They do not. They do not center perfectionism. It is all over the place. It's improvisations. And once again, it's not like opera. It's not like classical. 10 of Swords, because we are often hearing themes of defeat, hopelessness, oppression, once again, no coming back up. There's often talks about betrayal in Delta blues too, just like literally being stabbed in the back, literally, the card. And 10 of Swords can even indicate murder. 5 of Cups, sadness, loss, grief. Overall, just like darkness, sad themes, and heartbreak. And the same could be applicable to the 3 of Swords with heartbreak, pain, and betrayal. There's often a lot of talks of heartbreak and betrayal in the Delta blues genre. And yeah, that is what I hear when I listen to Delta blues. And with censoring perfectionism, how could they? There was no perfectionism in their life. There was no demonstration of that, so it couldn't have came out in the art. It's not even an option. You don't have the privilege or the ability to even pretend to be perfect. So what? You don't. You can't be. It's just all going to come out in your art. And that's how it should be. And that's why people love Delta blues.